Hey y'all, so I know you have seen that thumbnail and y'all are like, girl, what is going on? Okay, so let me explain. So I have been seeing all over the internet people taking chickens, either whole chickens, chicken legs, whatever it is, and hanging it upside down, or I should say, hanging it from the rack of the oven. And I have been curious to know if this makes any sense at all. Okay, is this a secret technique that people have just been hiding, or are people just doing this for the clicks? Okay, so today I am going to take you guys through a journey to see if this makes any sense in the least. If you have ever tried this before, please let me know your experience in the comments. And before you watch the rest of the video, pause right now and tell me what you think is going to happen, because y'all, you might be surprised. No matter what cooking technique I am going to use, you guys know that I am going to clean that chicken and I am going to season it well. So I'm going to start off by cleaning the chicken, and then of course cleaning that sink. This birdie is going to be nice and seasoned up with a couple of different spices. I really wanted to make sure that the color of the chicken came out nice. So what I have here is some green seasoning, jerk seasoning, a chicken seasoning. You can substitute any sort of generic garlic onion seasoning that you have. We have some Chick-fil-A sauce, tomato and chicken bouillon, as well as a little bit of Sazón Tropical. Now, if you don't have Chick-fil-A sauce, you can instead use some mustard. But, I'm just trying something a little bit different. Into this, I'm adding like a teaspoon of that tomato and chicken bouillon, a teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder, and just like a fourth of a teaspoon of that Sazón Tropical. The main goal of that seasoning rub is to make sure the color of the chicken is nice and red. I really wanted to have a great color, and it does actually add a nice flavor. If you don't have all of these bouillons, then don't worry. Okay, just use maybe chicken bouillon, just use some salt and some paprika and some smoked paprika. That will be just fine. I'm going to rub this green seasoning all over my chicken, especially under the skin. This is going to add a nice herbal note. There's like fresh thyme, rosemary, little garlic, little onion, a bit of Scotch bonnet pepper. And then I'm going to give this chicken the rub down. Okay, we're going to get a little massage. I know y'all see the color that is already coming on this chicken skin. Come on, y'all. This chicken gonna be good. And you definitely want to concentrate some of the seasoning under that breast meat, because that breast meat tend to be dry. Okay, and I don't really like no dry chicken. All right, so you want to go rub in there, and I also like to sort of tenderize the meat a little bit just by rubbing it. Now I'm going to use a little bit of that jerk seasoning on the outside and that chicken seasoning. That jerk seasoning is not going to make your chicken taste like jerk chicken. It just adds a nice aromatic to it, especially with the allspice and the nutmeg and stuff that's in it. After I season this chicken, I'm going to let it sit at room temperature and just marinate while I preheat the oven. So I am going to take out the top rack in my oven. Of course, the oven is cold because I'm not going to burn up my hand. And look at me giving y'all instructions like I've done this before. Okay, I've never done this. Okay, so we're just going to do what makes the most sense. So I'm going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees. And then I got this idea like, okay, maybe I need to add a little bit of extra support to the chicken, okay, because it's going to be suspended from the rack and it may need a little extra help staying together. Okay, if you're a woman and you don't put on like that t-shirt bra, okay, it like doesn't really support you like that. Like if you bounce, people gonna know it's not the underwire, but you just feel better with it on. That's kind of like what this string is doing here. Okay, I feel like it's going to add more support. Maybe it's mostly just a little psychological for my girl. I don't know. Okay, but my thinking was that it would help the legs and the wings get a little extra strength to stay on the rack. Tell me if my thought process is making sense to you guys, because it really seemed very logical in the moment. So I have these metal bamboo skewers, and I'm going to use these instead of like toothpicks. I've seen a lot of people using toothpicks to like poke the chicken legs and the wings, but I feel like these metal bamboo skewers should be a lot stronger. So I'm going to use 3 per leg. I'm going to try and sort of make a circle around the chicken leg bone. We gonna test the strength of this chicken ankle. today. All right. So we're going to see if it's going to keep it on to the rack. So as y'all see, we got a secure fit. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other leg. And then I'm also going to do both of those wings. I did not grease the oven rack. I was thinking that it probably wouldn't be that sticky because of, any oils or whatever that is polymerized on the oven rack. I mean, it does constantly go at temperatures of 400 degrees or more. So I figured there should be no issues. But I did tuck the chicken wing under the skewer so that it wouldn't get as browned, so quickly. But look, y'all, she's sturdy. Okay, she's sturdy. She hanging on. Okay, I think this may have a chance of working. So I'm going to take the chicken and the bowl because I'm not trying to drip, that chicken juice all over the house. And the oven is hot at this point. So I'm going to add a baking sheet at the bottom for obvious reasons because I'm not trying to tear up my oven. And I'm going to put some water down there so that the baking sheet doesn't burn, especially with all the chicken drippings that are definitely going to fall. I know you all see me adding the chicken to the top rack, but I actually went back later and moved it down one rack. I felt as if it was just a little bit too close to the top burner, and I do not have a convection oven. This is your classic regular oven, so I'm not even really sure how well this is really going to work. But this has been after 30 minutes of cooking, so I've added a little bit more water, and I just felt like the chicken was falling down a bit too much. My goal was to try to pick the chicken up to support it with more string, but as y'all can see, the back leg is falling, and I'm almost pretty much over the internet and these ridiculous suggestions. I don't really think I can get the chicken back up. Trying to tie it. Oh no, now the wing's gone. Oh my gosh, y'all. I don't think this method works. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the top of the chicken. Top of the chicken looking brown and beautiful. Bottom of the chicken, I don't know. I think the chicken is just gonna fall off. I don't think this is gonna work, y'all. Okay, but one thing I can tell y'all is that we eating this chicken. Okay, I done paid $10 for this chicken. This chicken about to get ate today. Okay, she hanging on by a limb though. How do I even get her out of this situation? Okay, and I already put water down here too. Okay, so I'm gonna just release her from the other ones. These ones are actually kind of sturdy. It's all gonna be fine. Everything is fine. Look, and this one's just ripping off. Okay, so I have my cast iron skillet. We're just gonna finish the chicken in there. All right, there she is. Now look, I seasoned it on point. Okay, we're gonna stick her in there. There we go. So we got the chicken in a regular cast iron skillet. I think we can safely say that the wire hanging method does not work. So I'm going to spray the chicken with some olive oil. And probably after about 30 more minutes, I'm gonna need to cover up those wings and those legs because they're just so high up and in this weird position. So yeah, y'all. Okay, let's finish off this chicken. You know what? I think because of how high the legs are, I'm gonna move it down one more time. Because I feel like they're almost touching. I feel like they're almost touching the top burner. There we go. This chicken cooked in total for about an hour and 20 minutes. Whenever I felt the wing tips were getting a bit dark, I went ahead and threw on some foil so it wouldn't get too brown because y'all know I would tear up a wing. And I actually eat that little tip. That's just, a little chef snack going on here. this chicken was actually very juicy. So that Chick-fil-A sauce combined with the other spices and whatnot I used made a really tasty bird. So even though I don't endorse this method by any means, I would encourage you to use a seasoning blend because it was so good. Guys, tell me any crazy things, any crazy cooking that you have ever tried for the internet, anything crazy you have saw online and you just had to try it and you realized it made absolutely no sense. Let me know in the comments, guys. Let's have a good laugh. And I will see you next time in Kamira's Kitchen. Goodbye and God bless.